Welcome back to In Pursuit of Truth. This is your host, Sir Patrick Mack. We've got a few new Q posts. We're going to get right to them. Keep in mind, I always read through them first, so if you want to skip through this and get right to the analysis, just click the timestamp in the video description below. Here we go. 17 minutes after the hour of 10 a.m., they feel threatened. This is about us. Expect more outcry in parentheses. We are being set up and targeted, plus DDoS in parentheses, all for a conspiracy LARP. We have a link. They must win. New strategy, promise jobs and money to all. Desperate, nervous. We have another link. Stay awake. Q. 21 minutes after the hour of 10 a.m., Q responds to an Anon who says, "Is Macroni our guy or is this all a sham?" Q says, "Politics. Same for Merkel. Think movie. Q." Adding on to that, at 33 minutes past the hour of 10 a.m., think logically. Attack the world? Are the people of France to blame? Are the people to blame or the ruling class? In parentheses, we have leaders/controllers. Apply leverage strategically, one by one, unity. Power shift. Rise of the people, worldwide. Not understood? Q. 41 minutes past the hour of 10 a.m., an Anon posts this picture. Do you know #QAnon, the Great Awakening? In real life, when Q responds, the world is connected, all or nothing, plus, space, plus, space, plus. Trust the plan. We get massive amounts of Q thank you letters from around the world every single day. The world is watching. Q. Eight minutes after the hour of 11 a.m., we knew this day would come. We knew people would need a guide. We all have a part to play. We knew Flynn would be challenged. Part of the plan? Flynn, Jr., recent, did not lie to VP. Timing. Plan. Signal sent, White House position in brackets. Moves and counter moves. Roll outside of White House. Lost house. Funds for legal. Beat up. You are watching a... ellipses there. What is right? What is wrong? Up is down, left is right, left is left. White House position, rapid, in brackets, changes. Why? Planned. Visibility in one helps another. Connected? We have the C missing the I. CA to Secretary of State, North Korea, Iran, Russia, China, Mexico. Why is this relevant? Think pushback. Open source. Why? They are watching. Proofs provided to retain. Future proofs past. History books. Q. Adding on to that, at 21 minutes past the hour of 11 a.m., they tried to delete the proof. POTUS, win, 1 of 20. Deep clean, they never thought you would lose. Insurance without cover, nothing is deleted. No such agency. Tool development primary plus meta essential. Easy cover. Act so sick and evil conspiracy push / fake reality almost always wins. Trust the plan. Hard to swallow for many. Treason / corruption first. Think resignations. Coincidence? Speaker of the House resigning. Coincidence? You have more than you know. Have faith. Where we go one, we go all. Q. And then adding on to that, at 23 minutes after the hour of 11, worldwide, WW equals worldwide. Try harder. Q. 5 minutes after the hour of 2, we have, did you know? Quiet. Army Lieutenant General Paul Nakasone. Good. Q. And then 33 minutes after the hour of 3 p.m., are you awake? Do you see for yourself the MSM propaganda tool of the left? Do you see Facebook, Twitter, Google censoring non-left POVs? Do you see the corruption? Do you see the evil? Are you a slave? Are you controlled? Are you a sheep? Are you awake? Do you think for yourself? Learn the truth, facts, history, the Great Awakening. They are losing control. Respect opinion or attack those who dare. Challenge the narrative. It's right in front of you. Who are the true fascists? Who are the true racists? Why does the Antifa flag mimic that of the Nazis? Coincidence? For humanity, wake up, learn, fight, fight, fight. Where we go one, we go all. 37 minutes past the hour of 6 p.m., Q is responding to another tweet from Sarah Carter. Waiting, everyone is. We'll let you know as soon as it happens. Altman at Gary Altman replying to Tom Fitton and Sarah Carter DC saying when. Anon says soon. Q says happened. Not public. Debate how to handle. Buying time. Toxic. Dangerous. Threats. Q. Adding on to that, at 38 minutes past the hour of 6 p.m., note 187 Q. 11 minutes past the hour of 7 p.m.,
we have this right here. What would happen if texts originating from an FBI to several internals discuss the assassination possibility of the POTUS or member of his family? What if the text suggests foreign allies were involved? Forget the Russia setup, 1 of 22 in brackets. This is only the beginning. Be careful what you wish for as the world turns. Could messages such as those be publicly disclosed? What happens to the FBI? What happens to the DOJ? What happens to special counsel? What happens in general? Every FBI/DOJ previous case could be challenged. Lawless. Think logically. We haven't started the drops regarding human trafficking/sacrifices. Yet in brackets, worst in brackets. Those good in brackets who know cannot sleep. Those good in brackets who know cannot find peace. Those good who know will not rest until those responsible are held accountable. Nobody can possibly imagine the pure evil and corruption out there. Those you trust are the most guilty of sin. Who are we taught to trust? If you are religious, pray. 60% must remain private, at least in brackets for humanity. These people should be hanging. Q. At 18 minutes past the hour of 7 p.m., what happens to the special counsel? Rudy met with Mueller today. Coincidence? Connect. Public announcement. End of POTUS investigation. Continue with other investigations. Stage set. Support growing. Strategic. Planned. We have it all. Welcome to the White House. Q. 36 minutes after the hour of 8 p.m. Response to an Anon says, why does the Antifa flag mimic that of the Nazi? Is Q retarded? Their flags are completely different. And then we have this graphic here. Q says, try harder. Ready for tomorrow? Q. Okay, let's start you back here. 17 minutes past the hour of 10 a.m. They feel threatened. This is about us. Expect more outcry. We are being set up and targeted. And then we have plus DDoS, all for a conspiracy LARP. So let's stop right there. And they're talking about not just the Dems, but the deep state, okay? They're feeling threatened. They understand that people are waking up. People are understanding that there's a lot more unity and things going around the world. We just saw Armenia, and now we've got North Korea supposedly, hopefully, denuclearizing. These are important things, and people, how can you not see? Eventually, it's got to kind of seep out through the news. People are fed up, and they're fed up with the division. Q says, we are being set up and targeted. Plus DOS, I believe this please, what is it? It's not direct denial. It's a denial of service. It basically means here it is, a distributed denial of service attack. Is basically when is an attempt to make an online service unavailable by overwhelming it with traffic from multiple sources. Okay, so you see what's going on. That's most likely happening to this board. It's happening to a lot of different posts. Some of these links, even I have to go search them out myself because they lead nowhere, or they're either taken down or something like that. Usually I have to kind of find it from another way. You guys probably have your own sort of stories for what's going on, but that's basically what the DDoS means. All for a conspiracy LARP. Yeah, remember, Q's just a LARP, remember? Q's fake. Q's fake. It's just a LARP, right? It must be. It must be. That's why they're all so threatened. That's why they got all these Armenian CIA knuckleheads trying to block us and DDoS us. Now, it takes you to this link. And I'm going to spend a little time on this because I do not like to glorify these people, but this was an important event. This takes you to NBC News, and you probably already heard this already. After Toronto attack, online misogynist praised suspect as quote-unquote new saint. Before allegedly killing 10 people with a van in Toronto, Alec Manassian appeared to have posted, it's not an Armenian name, appeared to have posted a message on Facebook that linked him to a toxic online community of misogynists that have become the source of a growing pattern of violence. The Facebook post, which authorities who spoke with NBC News believe came from Manassian, links Manassian to an online community known as incels, short for involuntary celibates. Sounds like a hell of a group. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation also reported that Facebook confirmed the authenticity of the post. Self-described incels congregate mostly online. Of course they do. Meeting in forums and message boards like Reddit and 4chan and its offshoot site 8chan to discuss their hopelessness with women in posts that are peppered with racist and misogynistic rants. Chads are incel speak for good-looking men who incels believe can't be one of them. Stacys are the women who find Chads attractive. The Facebook message also refers admiringly to Elliot Rodger, who killed 6 people in Isla Vista, California in 2014 and left behind a manifesto and videos detailing his sexual frustration as the motivation for his violence. Let me just stop right here, okay? Look, these are knuckleheads who sit at home and they play Call of Duty and they stuff their craw full of Hot Pockets and they can't get laid. And so that's why they're calling themselves involuntary celibates. Well, yeah, maybe put down the controller and go join a club, go play some soccer, go to a school dance. I don't know, something. But people who do this, people who use Stacy and Chads, they don't write manifestos, people. These people don't write manifestos on anything, all right? Detailing his sexual frustration as a motivation for his violence. Well, folks, we all know that's not okay, all right? And we're real sorry that you're having a tough time finding some Stacys and Chads. But you got to wake up, pull your pants up, and stop acting like a knucklehead, Junior. Get out, get a social life. And this is what's going on, folks. But more importantly, what I'm getting out of this article here is that they're starting to try and take these little crazies, and all these, so-called... how should I say, social misfits, and link them to a toxic online community of misogynists. And then, of course, they talk about 4chan, 8chan. Well, what else is on 4chan and 8chan? Q is on 8chan, right? While some posters questioned whether Manassian 25 guys, 25, fake cell, the term for someone whose average look disqualifies him from community memberships. Most hailed him as a hero of the movement. Oh, okay, good. So, folks, so if you're average looking, you can't even get into this group. This is an elite group of knuckleheads right here. I want to see some mass food poisoning deaths, maybe a pipe bomb or two, or hopefully somebody finally uses an effing truck to ram down. All right, I'm not talking about this. I'm not glorifying these knuckleheads anymore. Here's the deal, okay? We got a group of social misfit losers. This one is 25 years old, an Armenian. And they're trying to link it to a bunch of crazies on 8chan, which eventually probably somehow will get linked to Q. And it's going to throw us in with all of that. You see what's going on? I think you do. I mean, it's a little bit trickier than that, but all for a conspiracy LARP. Remember, Q's fake. It's fake, right? That's why they got to discredit it so much. They're working so hard to discredit it. Now, I don't know about the MK Ultra situation. A lot of people could point to that. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this was really just some lonely kid and his t-shirt didn't fit and he decided to get all butthurt and go ram a bunch of people with his truck. It's not funny. It's not okay. But that's what's going on. I don't know if he's mind controlled. I don't know what the deal is. But I think that we need to focus a lot on, we could be focusing a lot more on teaching kids how to act positively, rather than allowing these kids to saint these people. And I don't really think that's what's going on. I don't think that's what's going on. This sounds more like a LARP to me. That doesn't sound like the average kid I know in Toronto. All right, they must win. New strategy. Oh, well, what's the new strategy? What are they going to do? They're going to promise jobs and money to everybody. Desperate? Nervous? I don't know. Let's find out. This is Fox News. This is 4 hours ago. Reparation, income handouts, guaranteed jobs. Dems tilt hard left with new pet projects. Free tuition, minimum wage hikes, and Medicare for all or so 2016. I was just saying that back in 2016. As Democrats look ahead to the midterms and the 2020 presidential race, lawmakers and candidates are pushing the agenda even further to the left with bigger promises of sweeping government welfare programs ranging from guaranteed jobs to universal income. Senator Bernie Sanders, independent out of Vermont, the standard bearer for the party's left flank in 2016, once again is helping to lead the charge. He reportedly is set to announce a plan that will guarantee a $15 an hour job and health care benefits to every American who wants or needs one. The plan, first reported by the Washington Post, would fund hundreds of government projects such as infrastructure, caregiving, the environment, education, and other goals. Sanders' office said they have not yet done a cost estimate or devised how they would pay for the massive government commitment. A spokesman for Sanders did not respond to a request for more details from Fox News. Okay, so what's the deal? Sounds like a panic mode to me, right? New strategy? Hey, knucklehead, you're going to get a $15 an hour job. Don't get up. Keep playing Call of Duty. You got $15 an hour, folks. And if you get fired from McDonald's, you can go work with Imran Awan. How are we going to pay for it? I don't know yet. We have not yet done a cost estimate. That's the weird part. That's the part we always leave out. I think Senator Sanders' performance during the presidential campaign was much better than other Democrats expected, and this has given him a higher profile and greater standing in the campaign, Stan Vogler, economist at the Conservative American Enterprise Institute, told Fox News. Wow. Let me just take you down here. On Friday, Senator Cory Booker, you remember Cory Booker, took a bunch of money from PACs in New Jersey to make that bridge thing. announced the Federal Jobs Guarantee Development Act, which would call for the Department of Labor to select up to 15 areas to institute a job guarantee. According to Vox, which first reported on Booker's plan, those jobs would pay the higher of $15 per hour or the prevailing wage and offered paid family leave and health benefits. The federal jobs guarantee is an idea that demands to be taken seriously, Booker said in a statement, creating an employment guarantee that would give all Americans a shot at a day's work. And by introducing competition into the labor market, raise wages and improve benefits for all workers. Okay, well, that's all Cory Booker wants. He's just another one of those humanitarians, right? He wants to make sure everybody's got a job, all right? So, look, you on the couch, keep playing your games. Tell your friend Chad and Stacy they get a job. We're all getting $15 an hour. You see what's happening, folks. They're nervous. This is all they can do is just sort of belittle people and promise something that they can't give. They have no idea how they're going to pay for that. How are they going to pay for that? They're going to create initiatives that you have to pay for. They're going to tax you. You're going to have to pay for that. They're going to give you, maybe they'll bring in the Red Cross. Why not involve the Red Cross somehow? You'll pay for it. Stay awake. Cute. Moving on to the next post, 21 minutes after the hour of 10 a.m., we have a response to an Anon who says, is Macroni our guy or is this all a sham? Q says politics. Same for Merkel. Think movie. Q. Okay, so if you remember yesterday, we talked about Macron, who visited President Trump, and it was a pretty awkward situation. Trump was clearly not beating around the bush with what his politics were. And that's exactly what this is, politics. Merkel's got the same reason to try and convince Trump to keep this deal going that Macron did. All right, and it's going to be the same result. Think movie. Were they talking about the plot twist? Were they talking about the things that make a good movie? Were they talking about the movie Iron Eagle? Is Merkel our Iron Eagle? After all, who does she sympathize with? Who is her father? Who are her parents? Think movie. Q. Okay. Adding on to that, Q says, think logically. Attack the world? Well, of course we're not going to attack the world. We can't do that. Are the people of France to blame? Well, there are French people to blame, but no, the people of France are not to blame. Are the people to blame or the ruling class? Well, we know the answer to that. Leaders and controllers, those are the guys that apply all their leverage. Apply leverage, we can do that too, right? By being strategic, okay? By getting out of the deal. Look, when we get out of all these bad deals, it's going to show real quick. When you're not watching $500 billion going out, you're going to notice. We got to go one by one until we can achieve unity. Armenia comes crashing down out of nowhere. North Korea denuclearizing after all these years. So many people couldn't get it done. Looks like a power shift to me. Now, how Iran plays out, I don't know yet. Rise of the people. Hopefully that's exactly how it plays out. Worldwide. Not understood? Q. Yeah, everybody's watching. To my friends that are watching from around the world, welcome. Welcome to this phenomenon. And you're watching too, and you should be excited about it. This should be excited. Not understood? No, I think we get it. I think we get it. We are powerful. All right. Let's take you over here, adding on to that. There's a picture here. Do you know QAnon, the Great Awakening? Okay, well, I think this is just going to show we're starting to see it everywhere. People are starting to be less afraid to post about it too. The Anon says, in real life, when Q says the world is connected, all or nothing. And then we have 3 pluses, 2 pluses, and 1 plus with a space in between. Trust the plan. We get massive amounts of Q thank you letters from around the world every single day. The world is watching. Well, where do you send thank you letters to Q? Where do you guys do that? What's Q's address? Don't know. But people are saying thank you to Q all over the world, around the world, every single day. This isn't just American. Okay, so if I understand this correctly, I would believe that the 3 pluses represents the House of Saud. The 2 pluses would be the House of Rothschild, and then the 1 plus would be George Soros. And if you remember from some posts back, and you can look up these pluses, this was sort of the order in which Q was going to take them down. That was one of the first things that happened, was this sort of takedown of the House of Saud. Looks like the Rothschild. Are they the Iron Eagle? Maybe. Maybe, don't know. Okay, we've talked a lot about that, but that's the next part of the plan. And then it looks like Soros would be last, who's hopefully going to get a special place in Camp David. All right. Let's move on to the next post. Okay, moving on to 8 minutes after the hour of 11 a.m. We knew this day would come. We knew people would need a guide, meaning that this Q team has kind of seen this for a while, and a lot of us have seen this for a while. A lot of us have been reporting on this stuff for a while. We all have a part to play. We sure do. We have code breakers, and we've got people like me who are kind of like talking heads, and you've got researchers, and you've got, people who tell the story, people who find the story. We've all got a part to play. We knew Flynn would be challenged. Part of the plan? Flynn Jr. recently did not lie to VP. That's a quote. Timing plan. Let's just stop right there and let's catch you up on this story here. This is off of CNN Politics. Did Michael Flynn Jr. just reveal something very, very important about the Russia investigation? This is as of April 24th. On Monday morning, Michael Flynn Jr., the son of President Donald Trump's former national security advisor, tweeted something very interesting. American Patriot at General Flynn. And let me just read you this part here. American Patriot at General Flynn did not lie to Pence or anyone else in the administration about his perfectly legal and appropriate conversations with Russian AMB Kislyak in December 2016. Why would a highly decorated military intel officer lie about something legal? Been an MSM lie from day one. Okay, so all of a sudden he's speaking out. So just to be clear, what Flynn Jr. is alleging is that his dad never lied to Vice President Mike Pence or anyone else about his interactions with then Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak. That runs directly counter to Pence's version of events. Pence said Flynn did not tell the truth when the two talked about interactions with Kislyak. I was disappointed to learn that the facts that had been conveyed to me by General Flynn were inaccurate, Pence said a week after Flynn's firing. That tweet also contradicts the explanation offered by Trump for firing Flynn in the first place. I had to fire General Flynn because he lied to the vice president and the FBI, Trump said via Twitter in December 2017. He has pled guilty to those lies. It is a shame because his actions during the transition were lawful. There was nothing to hide. It was later revealed that Trump attorney John Dowd wrote the actual tweet. And it complicates and seemingly contradicts the fact that Flynn himself pleaded guilty last year to lying to the FBI about the nature and depth of his interactions with Kislyak during the presidential transition process. I recognize that the actions I acknowledged in court today were wrong. And through my faith in God, I am working to set things right, Flynn said in a statement after his December 2017 plea. My guilty plea and agreement to cooperate with the special counsel's office reflects a decision I made in the best interest of my family and of our country. I accept full responsibility for my actions. Okay, so Q saying we knew this was going to come. They knew Flynn was going to get challenged. They knew that he was going to have some problems. Why would he have some problems? And why did he lie to the vice president? Why is Mike Pence saying that he lied? Someone's lying. Who's lying? What's the timing with this? What is a part of the plan here? Is Flynn going to come back? Is Flynn going to find himself in a White House position? I don't know, but we have a signal sent now. White House position, moves and counter moves. What have been moves? What have been some rapid moves that we've seen? Okay, Mark Pompeo, Nikki Haley, John Bolton, moves, counter moves, roll outside of White House. Who might be able to have or is getting a role outside of the White House? Well, we all know that Trump's talked about pardoning Flynn. He didn't do anything wrong. Why did he have to lie? What was that part of the plan? Look, you don't get to recuse yourself in a situation like that. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe he had to be sort of the sacrifice, right? He's got to go down. He's got to get out of the picture so he's not part of something else, if that makes sense. Roll outside of White House. Is he going to find something? Well, what did they say about him? Lost his house, funds for legal, beat up. He was so beat up. Looks to me like we're watching a movie, folks. Why did Flynn plead guilty? What is right? What is wrong? We don't know. Up is down, left is right, left is left. And I think Q could be saying a couple things here. Q could be saying that no matter what, that left, that deep state, that far left movement, it's still there. And because of all this, and because we have to clean house in a certain way, we may see some White House rapid changes. We already have Pompeo. Okay? Why was this planned? Visibility in one helps another, connected. Well, who went from CIA to Secretary of State? Mike Pompeo, trust Kansas. Why? Because he has a hard stance on North Korea, Iran, Russia, and China. He's kind of a hardliner. Who else is a hardliner? John Bolton is. Now, folks, regardless of what your opinions are, these people have hardline stances. So does Nikki Haley. Mexico, where do they stand in all this? Why is this relevant? Who's pushing back? Vicente Fernandez is pushing back. China, Russia, they're both against the against axing the Iran deal. Of course, then you've got Iran. And we already know what's going on with North Korea. Okay? So this could be the pecking order. This also could be the order of transactions. Think pushback. Who's pushing back? Well, all these guys are. These guys. All right? These nacho-eating fools that are driving cars around and acting like they're all butthurt about everything. They're the ones acting out. Why are they acting out? What are they doing? These people are getting desperate. Why? They're watching. They're going to try and give us something desperate. Okay? They're going to try and ask for income handouts so that we don't see where this corruption was. I think you see what's going on. I think Flynn's going to come back in the picture in just a couple days. I think it's going to be very, very soon. I think there's a lot of timing for Flynn Jr.'s son to talk about this. Who lied? We're going to find out. What's this going to say about Mike Pence? Future proves past. Either way, it's going to end up in the history books. Now, the next post adding on to that, they tried to delete the proof. Of course they did. They had all this stuff. They had all these insurance files. It has everything on everybody. And just yesterday, we started talking about now we've got these texts. POTUS win 120. Is that January 20th? What was that? That was the shutdown. Remember, they were celebrating his 1-year anniversary by shutting down the government. The POTUS called it a win. It allowed him a chance to deep clean. Yeah, they never thought she would lose. They didn't think they had to worry about backing these things up or deleting evidence. They didn't think that they thought that was going to go on forever. They never thought he would win. Insurance without cover. Yeah, what's that insurance file? Apparently they didn't cover their ass. Nothing is deleted. NSA's got it all. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this means. Tool development, primary, and meta essential. Sounds like to me they've got metadata. They've got the primary and metadata. They have everything. You can't delete that. You can't dump acid on that. Easy cover. Acts so sick and evil conspiracy push. Yeah, they're pushing the satanic agenda big time right now. Kind of making a mockery of it all over the mainstream. You see it in music videos. You see it everywhere, folks. They're doing that so that it doesn't seem so threatening. And if we start calling it a conspiracy, it's going to be real, real easy. Fake reality almost always wins. Yeah, well, I think that's about to change. Trust the plan. Hard to swallow for many. Well, it is hard to swallow for a lot of us. Look, just trying to convince your friends that Hillary Clinton is guilty of treason might be hard to swallow for many. Can you imagine trying to convince them she might have Kuru disease? I'm not going to go well into that right now, but you know what I'm saying, right? That this has to be taken one step at a time, meaning that we have to show the treason first. We have to show the corruption first, okay? Slush funds, Red Cross, human trafficking. You can believe those things. You can see those things. Think resignations. Who's resigning? Paul Ryan's resigning. Coincidence? Yeah, Speaker of House resigning. Coincidence? No, it's not. I don't know exactly about Paul Ryan. I'm assuming, here's my guess on Paul Ryan real quickly. I think sometimes you find yourself in situations where you're overwhelmed and you maybe have bought in to a bad concept, or you conspired into something, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're completely evil, but you got your hands caught in the cookie jar. And I think he's probably going to cut a deal. I think the resigning is part of the deal. Now, will he be outed as a traitor? I don't know. I don't know what part of that deal is. But right now, he doesn't seem to be speaking out against Trump. Not the way he was before, you remember. His attitude seems to have changed. So what's the deal in play there? Not sure. But evidently, we have more than we know. Yeah, it seems like Q keeps saying everything's open sourced. Have faith. Where we go one, we go all. Adding on that, worldwide, try harder. Q. Sounds to me like Q wants us to really, really start breaking this stuff down. Let's take you over here, 5 minutes past the hour of 2 p.m. Did you know? Quiet. Army Lieutenant General Paul Nakasone. Good. Folks, did you know? Did you know it was quiet? Did you know? Yes, you did. If you've been following my videos, you did. As a matter of fact, I took you to this very same article. This is off of USNI News. NSA Chief Admiral Mike Rogers expected to retire this spring, leaves complicated legacy. Okay, well, if you've been following this story, you knew that Admiral Rogers was going to retire. The search is on for a replacement for Admiral Mike Rogers, the head of the NSA and the last Obama intelligence appointee remaining in the Trump administration. Rogers is expected to retire this spring after an eventful and often controversial 4 years. Well, this was back in February, and so we're in the spring. So Rogers was stepping down. Well, who was stepping up? There's Admiral Rogers right there, just in case you had any questions about him, just in case you had any queries or quaffs or qualms or quandaries about this man. So he stepped down. Who's replacing him? This fella right here. It is unclear if President Trump will continue the tradition of appointing an active duty military officer to the position of NSA chief, but the frontrunner appears to be Army Lieutenant General Paul Nakasone, who took the reins at Army Cyber Command in 2016, according to reports. While Nakasone would be subject to Senate approval, a process which would likely take several months, his confirmation would place a military officer with a long history in cyber and intelligence work in the position. The Army general, who is 54, carries a solid reputation within both the cybersecurity and military community, and he played a key role in kicking off the cyber war against the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. So, folks, there he is, and if you've been following my videos, you might have already met him, but that's the fella there, and they did it quietly, and probably quickly, without a lot of questions. Army Lieutenant General Paul Nakasone. Good. Okay. 33 minutes after the hour of 3 p.m. Are you awake? I think so. Do you see for yourself? Well, I hope so. I don't always feel that way. The MSM, propaganda tool of the left? Of course it is. We know that already. Do you see Facebook, Twitter, Google censoring non-left POVs? Folks, I've had problems with Facebook, Twitter, and Google. They've censored all of them. Have censored me. YouTube censored me. Do you see the corruption? Yeah, I think we do, don't we? Don't we? Do you see the evil? We're starting to. And I think a lot of other people are starting to. Are you a slave? Are you controlled? Are you a sheep? Are you awake? Well, you know what? To be fair, that's a good question, isn't it? Because let's face it. If we hadn't have been controlled, we wouldn't have ended up in this situation in the first place, right? Maybe we all have to take a little bit of responsibility. Maybe we were a little bit enslaved. Maybe we were a little bit controlled. Maybe we were a little bit sheepish. Maybe we're awake now. Do you think for yourself? I think we do. But I think we've been guilty of following the herd, haven't we? Let's face it, we have. Learn the truth. Facts. History. The Great Awakening. They are losing control. Yeah, exactly, folks. It's a wonderful time to be alive, isn't it? It's an amazing time to be alive. Look at the way that we've been able to find and open source our own information. Find out the depths of some of these stories. Respect opinion or attack those who dare. Well, who does that? Challenge the narrative? Yeah, I think we should. At every turn. It's right in front of you. Who are the true fascists? The true fascists are the ones who don't want to hear your voice. Who are the true fascists? I said they're the ones who don't want to hear your voice. I'm sorry, I maybe thought Q couldn't hear me. Why does the Antifa flag mimic that of the Nazis? Because, folks, if you remember the Hitler Youth from back in the day, and these kids walked around and they supported Hitler and they wore these uniforms, and they felt a great sense of pride. I can imagine. Imagine you're a kid, you don't know, you feel pride. You're a leader. You're dressing like you're working for the great leader, and anybody who was against that was just this uneducated idiot. And look how that worked out, folks. Coincidence? No. For humanity, wake up, learn, fight. Where we go one, we go all. Q. Now over here, 37 minutes past the hour of 6. Q is responding to this tweet from Sarah Carter. Waiting. Everyone is. We'll let you know as soon as it happens. Well, what were we waiting for? Let me take you back just a little bit here. We were waiting for this right here, right? These 6 months of missing texts that were eventually located by IG between Strzok and Page, available to Congress sometime tonight or tomorrow. Well, this is tomorrow, according to that. Okay? So it's still developing. Sarah Carter's trying to keep us posted. Looks like a lot of people are asking her. Tom Fitton and Sarah Carter, they want to know when, right? Looks like it already happened. It's not public, and they're debating how to handle it. Remember, guys, this might have to do with murder, and it has to do with treason. If you watched my video from yesterday, or if you haven't, please watch it. Okay, we're talking about big deals. They got to buy some time. This is toxic and dangerous, and I'm sure there have been threats. Remember, we've talked about threats on the president's life. This is serious, folks. Very serious stuff. Let me go to a couple more posts ahead, because it all kind of adds on. And Q does add on here at 38 minutes past the hour of 6 p.m. Note 187. It's a murder, folks. It's murder. And specifically, Q even refers us to this. And this is from back in January 22nd. And I took you here yesterday. And again, let's read it again, knowing what we know, or what we think we know. What would happen if texts originating from FBI agent, what FBI agent, to several internals discussed the assassination possibility of the POTUS or member of his family? Well, who did that? Who sent those texts? What if the text suggests foreign allies were involved? French allies? German allies? British allies? Australian allies? Who? Forget the Russia setup. One of 22. Is that 22 countries? Do we have 22 countries spying on us? Was this the UN? Was this the UN that was spying? Was this the UN that was discussing the assassination of the POTUS or a member of his families? And it was being discussed internally on these texts, folks. This is very delicate. This is only the beginning. Be careful what you wish for. As the world turns. Is that Adam Schiff? What's going on with Adam Schiff? Remember, as the world turns, is that a marker? Is that a marker? Is that a marker meaning that we're talking about assassinations? Could messages such as those be publicly disclosed? No, they couldn't. Very, very toxic. Q said himself, toxic. What happens to the FBI? We already talked about this, okay? It's either an investigation or a disbandment. It's going to be a mess. What happens to special counsel? I don't know. I think this goes straight to military tribunals. I don't know. What happens in general? I don't know. Every FBI, DOJ previous case could be challenged, folks. Think about the Pandora's box that's going to open. Think logically. We haven't even started the drops regarding human trafficking and sacrifices. We all know about the human trafficking. Some of us may not be privy to all this sacrifice stuff. It's the worst stuff that we don't want to talk about. Now here it says, those good who know cannot sleep. Is this talking about good actors that know about this? Maybe they've had to be complicit for fear of their own life, for fear of their family's life. How do you sleep? How can you find peace? Those good who know will not rest until those responsible are held accountable. Folks, that's what the Q team is. Nobody can possibly imagine the pure evil and corruption out there. Those who trust are the most guilty of sin. Remember, keep your enemies close. Who are we taught to trust? Our religious leaders, our teachers, and our doctors, and our institutions. If you're religious, pray. Indeed, folks. And by the way, incidentally, those of you who send prayers my way, I want you to know I'm not a praying person myself, but I look at it this way. If somebody thinks well enough of you to speak to God about your well-being, I find that one of the most great honors, and I appreciate your prayers, folks. Thank you so much. 60% must remain private. Remember, this is toxic, at least for humanity. Now, I don't know. That might be debatable. Maybe not. I think some of us probably could handle this and feel like we should see it all. And yet, remember, some of this information made the New York Police Department cry. These people should be hanging. Yeah, I'd say to say the least, huh? What happens to the special counsel? Rudy met with Mueller today. Okay, are they going to talk? Are they going to come to an agreement? Are they going to end this? Coincidence? I don't know. I doubt it. Public announcement. Well, it looks like we're going to see one. And as of now, I'm even though I'm ahead of you in time, I probably won't see that. You guys will probably get that in the news cycle before I will. Continue with other investigations. Yeah, remember, we've got these referrals. Is the stage set? Is the stage set for the Loretta Lynch? Is this going to be the tarmac audio? Is it going to be a Hillary video? Remember, 5-5, loud and clear. Support growing? Looks like it. These memes are helping. Strategic, planned, we have it all. Welcome to the White House. Q. Okay, and then we've got this last one right here. And Q is responding to, it looks like an Anon speaking and a couple of graphics here. The Anon says, why does the Antifa flag mimic that of the Nazis? I think that was actually Q's statement from a couple earlier. And then this Anon says, is Q retarded? Their flags are completely different. Yeah, totally different. Because that one's red and black, and this one's red and black. And this one's got a circle, but that one over there is got a circle, and this one has a swastika, but this one doesn't have a swastika, so it's totally different. And this one has a little iron cross here. This one's got a little X, so it's totally different. It's totally different, guys. I don't even see it. Come on, Q, you retarded? What's up? Well, clearly, folks, this is, you know what's going on here. Remember, Iron Eagle. Are we talking about Are we talking about Nazi sympathism? This says here, when will at CNN disavow Antifa for throwing urine-filled bottles at police in Boston today? Or do they endorse it? Urine-filled bottles, folks. Class, indeed. Class personified. Q says, try harder. Ready for tomorrow? Q. Well, folks, like I said, you guys will probably figure out what happens tomorrow before I will. But I will most certainly be there ready to report it when I wake up. Guys, thank you so much for hanging with me. I'm sorry I had to gloss over some of this. I am actually attending a movie premiere, and so I'm doing this on my work break, and I've had to work fast. And you can see usually I have a ton more links up and everything like that. So my apologies, but I have to be there because, well, I'm in the movie. So I kind of got to show up. So I'm doing this as well as I can. I hope this does help kind of put the narrative together. Looks like we got some exciting stuff coming for tomorrow. Okay. Will it have to do with these texts? Who knows? Is it going to have to do with the Mueller investigation? Is there going to be looks like there's going to be a public announcement. Is that going to be tomorrow? Is the stage set? Fun times, folks. All right. Those are your Q posts. As always, if you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe. If you're not hearing from me, come back, click on, just look for me. You'll find me. Okay. But YouTube is unclicking you. So for those people who are curious as to why you're not hearing from me, you know why. YouTube's not working for you. Okay. They're not working for me either. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. As always, if more Q post comes up, I'll be on it as soon as I can. This is Sir Patrick Mack with In Pursuit of Truth. And until next time, stay safe, stay sane.